I'll be honest, there's some part of me that didn't want to make a NordVPN review at all because I see it being shilled by YouTubers everywhere. I see it on podcasts, I even see it in commercials. NordVPN is like the #1 most heavily promoted and advertised VPN today. The company is worth over $1 billion. So there's some part of me that's inherently skeptical about Nord, right? I mean, if they're investing all this money in marketing, how much money are they actually investing in the product, right? Are they just kind of coasting, collecting cash, and letting their product slowly degrade over time? Well, as I took a deep dive into NordVPN, I realized that the answer to that question I just posed is actually no. NordVPN is investing a serious amount of money in product development. So this is my review. I'm going to explain to you what I like about Nord's design, what I don't like about it, how its speeds performed in my speed tests, how effectively it unblocked content, what I think of it as a privacy VPN, and ultimately tell you whether I think it's good value. By the end of this video, or ideally even by like minute 2, you're going to know if NordVPN is a good fit for you. And if you're thinking about getting it, awesome. I've got a discount below. I'd really appreciate if you use that. You're going to get a discount, and it's going to help support the channel, which I really appreciate. So Nord is my daily driver, and it has been for years. Way back in the day when I lived in China, I used Astral VPN, not particularly a fan of them anymore. Then I moved to Express, but especially over the past few years as Express was acquired by Cape Technologies, I find that their product quality is really degraded. And so over the past 2-3 years, I really started to use NordVPN on a daily basis. Why is that? Well, first, it just works well. It's an intuitive VPN, and I really like the world map design that you see on the screen here. I mostly use a PC. I'm also an Android guy, don't judge me, but I do have an iPhone in the house that my wife uses. I've tried Nord on all of these, and yeah, I consistently find that the design is very intuitive and just better than a lot of other VPNs out there. So to use it, you navigate through this world map, scroll across really the entire world, decide which country you want to jump into, and pick from among Nord's 6,400 servers in, let's see, 111 countries here. With Nord, you have good server redundancy. So, you know, if you want a server in Japan, for example, you're going to have a few options. Los Angeles, you're going to have a few servers, New York, Houston, etc. You're going to have multiple servers for these access points that matter to a lot of people. Why does that matter? Well, more servers means less congestion, especially during peak hours. If you have a bunch of people all going through a single server location, well, speeds are going to slow down, right? So that's really probably the biggest reason that a company like Nord has so many servers spread worldwide to disperse this traffic from their customers. Now, if you want to tinker on the back end and modify the protocol that you're using with Nord, you can do that. By default, they use Nord links, which is basically an adaptation of the WireGuard protocol. And if that just sounded like crazy jargon to you, basically know that WireGuard is this open source VPN protocol. It's really fast, and most good fast VPNs these days are built on WireGuard. Now, NordLynx uses something called double NAT, double NAT, network address translation. Basically, this ensures that no identifying information is leaked at any point during the connection process. So taking the statement at face value translates to something like NordLynx offers enhanced privacy features that WireGuard itself doesn't. All right, so NordLynx being on WireGuard should be fast. How fast? Well, I tested that as I test everything I review here at this channel. The first thing you need to know is any VPN is going to contribute to speed loss. It's just a question of how much. So with Nord, what I found alongside my testers is our average speed loss translated to just 11.1%, which is really low. Quite a bit lower actually than every other VPN we tested. I think Surfshark came in around 18% speed loss, which also was not bad, but not nearly as good as Nord's 11.1% loss. So whatever you're doing, if you're streaming in 4K, if you're gaming, whatever, Nord's going to be fast. Also keep in mind, speed loss is going to vary based on device. Windows machines tend to experience less speed loss than Mac machines do. And for a reference point, a protocol like OpenVPN, you could expect to experience an average speed loss of about 20%. And yeah, as you've seen, NordLynx has performed well below that threshold. So points to Nord for exceptional speeds here. I also experienced low latency when testing Nord, which you want as a gamer. You know, a millisecond of ping can make all the difference between killing and being killed. And yeah, Nord has performed well for me as a gaming VPN and as a streaming and torrenting VPN. As always, be sure to snag your discount in the video description below. Of course, with Nord, you're going to get advanced features. I put advanced in finger quotation marks because honestly, I think most good VPNs should include at least some of these things, like multi-hop. Yeah, of course, you're going to get multi-hop with Nord. You're going to get that, in my opinion, with any good VPN. Basically, multi-hop connects not just through one, but through 2 servers, which gives you an additional layer of privacy. You also get Onion over VPN. So this is a Nord and Tor browser integration. If you want to use Tor in combination with the VPN, then Nord is going to be the VPN for you because of Onion over Tor. Nord also has obfuscated servers, which I can never say that correctly. Obfuscated is such a strange word to me, but basically that hides the fact that you're using a VPN. If you've ever used a VPN with, say, Reddit, Google, you've probably noticed either you're just blocked outright. In the case of Reddit, they often block VPN users. And with Google, you'll often get CAPTCHA requests, super annoying. That's where something on obfuscated servers comes in. It basically hides the fact that you're using a VPN to these other websites. So you can browse the web with a lot less friction. Now, of course, NordVPN also comes with a kill switch. I almost don't want to mention a kill switch in this video because it's like every good VPN should come with a kill switch. It's basically what a kill switch does is if your VPN connection drops out for any reason, sometimes it happens, then Nord will disable your access to the entire internet so that you're not left browsing exposed without a VPN. At the router level, Nord is also pretty easy to set up. I've personally found it easier to set up than Surfshark. Why set up a VPN on a router at all? Well, it's just so that you can basically always be protected by a VPN versus having to toggle one on and off on a multitude of devices, depending on how many you have in the household. For content unblocking and streaming, I honestly don't have a lot to say here. Nord works really well as a content unblocking VPN. Specifically with Netflix, we test Netflix more than other platforms, really for two reasons. One, most people use Netflix as their go-to streaming platform. And two, Netflix has the greatest variation in terms of content that it displays based on geo. So what I see in the US as a Netflix user is probably quite different than what you see in Australia. So in any VPN review, we want to see how does Nord, in this case, work with Netflix. And we tested it in 25 countries. We were able to access Netflix in all of those 25 countries, including some pretty obscure countries like Azerbaijan, where probably you don't want to watch Netflix through. But yeah, in short, Nord works really well as a content streaming VPN. Moving into privacy, because I know a lot of you want a VPN for privacy purposes. And also, I'm sure a lot of you, like you see Nord advertising during the Super Bowl, and you're probably going, is this VPN actually good for privacy? Like, how could this company care about my privacy when it's got Super Bowl advertisements, right? These guys are just too big to be a good privacy VPN. I totally get that objection. But I think Nord has a lot going for it. First, it's based in Panama, so it is outside of the 5, 9, and 14 eyes alliances. Personally, that doesn't matter that much to me. But yeah, for the privacy guys and gals out there, it might. And so know that Nord is headquartered outside of those intelligence sharing alliances. And then this is also the point in the video where I'd say Nord has a no logs policy, but every VPN should have a good no logs policy. It also needs to be audited. It looks here like Nord's was last audited in 2023 by Deloitte. So that's good to see that third-party audit on the privacy policy. And of course, as I probably mentioned at the top of the video, Nord has RAM-based servers, which whether you go with Nord or another company, you want RAM-based servers. So make sure that your VPN company has those. Basically, that means if a government seizes the servers, there's actually nothing on the servers for them to see. And that's because they're going to be wiped after every reboot. In short, Nord is a very good privacy VPN. As far as price, keep in mind the longer the plan you sign up for, the lower the monthly price you're going to get. If you use the discounts in the video description below, which again, I really appreciate, and those should get you a discount as well, you could get Nord down to, I think, like just over $3 a month. It's a no-brainer, especially when you consider some of the add-ons that Nord is now throwing into packages like Saily, which is their eSIM for traveling. And with Nord, I think I mentioned this already, but you get 10 simultaneous device connections. They recently upgraded that. It used to be 6, now it's 10. Also 30-day money-back guarantee, 24/7 chatbot if you do have any questions. So I've got to admit, this review has actually caused me to see Nord in a slightly different light. And now I actually see a lot of value in a company that has this huge marketing budget that's growing immensely year over year, and that as of today is probably worth over $1 billion. It doesn't mean they're checked out. It doesn't mean that they're not developing the product. It actually means that they have a ton of cash that's coming into the company that they can then use to make a better product. So personally, I'm very happy with Nord. I think you're going to be too. Be sure to check those discounts out in the video description below, and I'll see you in this video here. Cheers.